Now, granted, this is about probably 8 years ago. And I remember she had this little tiny little top on, her whole belly out. Um, Kind of looked stoned, I guess.
Did she say from 8 years ago? Hold up, wait a minute, hold up. This starting to get weird here.
Certain things have been brought to my attention that she was prostituting. I saw.
Now we have a situation when it comes to the Russo family. It seems to me that the Russo family does not like that the Shirilla family is kicking dirt on their name, and neither would I. I mean, by all means, I wouldn't want nobody slandering my family's name. No one would appreciate it. But right here, what we got right now is a classic footage of a family that's coming up to defend their name and their honor. Roll the clip!
There is no sister who believes that whoever their brother is with is good enough for them. That is my lived experience.
That's right.
But in this case, you had your reasons. Mm-hmm. What were they?
Very first time I met her was in his backyard, and she showed up, and there was chatter throughout the family, like, oh, Dom's got this new girlfriend that's been trying to date him for so long, and, we're all like, well, who's this girl, Dom's first girlfriend. When we first met her, it was in the backyard, and I just remember her, and now, granted, this is about probably 8 years ago, and I remember she had this little tiny little top on, her whole belly out, kind of looked stoned.
Did she say from 8 years ago? Hold up, wait a minute, hold up. This starting to get weird here. Let's rewind that back.
And I just remember her, and now, granted, this is about probably 8 years ago. And I remember she had this little tiny little top on, her whole belly out, kind of looked stoned, I guess I would say, like a little disoriented. Didn't say hi to me. Very touchy on Dominic. Pretended like I didn't exist. And it was just the most disrespectful. She came to meet her new boyfriend's family. And there was just no respect right off the bat. And I mean, I've had to, like you said, my brother's girlfriends many of them are very scared of me, and they have been. But that one was just right off the bat was like, what's wrong with this kid?
On Google, it says that he met her when he was in the 11th grade and she was in the 9th grade. By the time she got to high school, he was getting ready to leave high school himself. Because she's saying that she remembers her being at a family get-together in the backyard with some skimpy outfit on. So that means she had to be a jit. Touchy, feely, if it's 8 years ago. Come on, I mean, what we talking about here? We only in 2026. She was 17 at the time when the incident happened with the car crash. Yo, this is wild right here. This is wild. You let people keep talking and they'll expose their hands. I mean, again, like I said in the last video, both parties, both sides of the family were to blame for this.
He ain't lying.
What did you learn in those texts that you believe tells you why this happened that night?
In the text messages that have since come out.
All of them.
I haven't looked through any. I will never look at my brother's text messages. But there are certain things have been brought to my attention. One is that she was prostituting. I saw that in the text messages.
I know you fucking lying.
I've seen her. I knew she was threatening him. So I wasn't surprised about those that came out.
What happened to McKenzie when she was younger?
Yes. Bingo. Yahtzee.
This doesn't just spur out of the clear blue sky. It don't. What did that little girl see at a young age that she wasn't supposed to see? That was hypersexualized. This is all allegedly. I'm just hypothesizing. What did she see at a young age that caused her to be so hypersexual? When the incident happened, she was 17. These are important questions that need to be asked. And it needs to be answered. Let's go.
But it was crazy that he had actually confronted her about prostituting, I guess.
But you got the sense from what you learned about their relationship that it was reasonable to you that this 17-year-old McKenzie had decided she'd rather kill herself and him than lose him from her life. You believe that that's what made this happen.
I know that for a fact. It was proven in court. Everything that's circulated, we were lied to. There's a lot of stuff that, obviously because you're in TV or true crime, there's stuff that is not out that you guys don't know, and I sat through the trial. I talked to the family. I talked to the Shirillas after this. We were lied to. One of the biggest things is that nobody knows is for like 4 days, Natalie, so she my brother and Davion for about 4 days, and we sat there and cried and prayed for her to wake up. We were told that she was completely unconscious and couldn't talk and was basically in a coma and going to die. For like 4 days this went on. But come to find out, she was TikToking and trying to get modeling gigs on Instagram hours after she killed 2 people.
You could make money working as a model.
Shortly after the crash, Strongsville police were notified that they had received concerning emails from the community that the defendant and her mother were seeking employment with the Los Angeles modeling agency. McKenzie Shirilla said to Vitali, "Thank you for the comment. I would love to work with you guys. I've been emailing you guys a lot. Such a great opportunity." This was something that was being exhibited while the investigation was still going on, before she was charged and arrested in November of last year. And these were the sort of things that were coming to the police.
So things like that surfaced, and it was like, why was she lying? Why were they lying for days, saying that she was unconscious and she couldn't talk to us?
Because they was trying to fix the story and fix the narrative as much as they can. They needed to stay tight-knit and focused, homed in on what was going on within their circle, so they can be able to spin the web. Or, I should say, the Shirilla's web. It's allegedly. Allegedly. Don't come for me because I haven't sent for thee, all right? Let's go. Let's keep it moving.
It's almost been 4 years. There's no healing. We'll never get him back, so it'll never get better. I know that for a fact. But this and what is the worst is that there's no remorse, no accountability, no apologies. The slandering of my brother, letting misinformation out there, like, it's infuriating. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I've taken on this role of trying to combat it all. I'm tired. And, he just came out with another interview, Steve, yesterday, bashing my brother, saying that we are tied, we have political ties. It's just not true. I'm tired of it. I'm tired.
It doesn't matter who was angry at who in the relationship. At the end of the day, one person was driving, one person made the choices, as far as we know, and she won't give us another version of the events. And your brother is dead.
Right.
I'm hoping that within true crime, though, the fact that I actually know what an investigation is and what trials are, what decisions are made and how they come off, that there's value in that. But really, it's Dom had a death wish. And maybe he was trying to get her to do this. You know who would tell us that if that were true? She would.
Or she,
That's
yeah,
who,
right.
because it would have saved her hiney. If it's Dom was stepping on the gas. Dom said he wouldn't love me anymore unless I drove 100. Dom was saying that this is how I prove my love to you. That kind of crazy talk.
What? That's being said?
Adding on to what Cuomo's talking about, because if he's supposed to be so much of a boogeyman, let McKenzie's father tell you the story, spin his web, he would have been like the way how Joker was with Harley Quinn. Let's just be honest here. Prove your love to me. I mean, for all the ladies out there, I'm just saying, y'all been with toxic men. I'm pretty sure y'all have in your life. At one point in time, y'all have been with a toxic man. Not all women, but there are a good amount of women that have been with toxic men. Y'all know how twisted some of these individuals can be. Leave your comments down in the comment section, all right? Real talk. Let's go.
Would have no. But the speculation
like
goes to that.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
But
Yeah.
who would have told us that? She would. She
they-
would tell us, and she would tell us repeatedly, because
Yeah.
it would have saved her. Instead, she did the opposite. And all we know is proof that your brother was nothing but someone who loved her, arguably when he should not have, as your family feels, and I understand that, and whose life was taken through no doing of his own.
They corroborated from the second that this happened. It was an immediate cover-up. The lies, the manipulation, her looking at the police officer when I don't even think it was an investigation at that time. He just went to give her cell phone, and she looks at him and says, she looks at her mother, and in their gibberish language, she says, "Can I just say I had a seizure?" She literally says that, so I don't understand why there's speculation. Another thing is the father told officials, I think it was a doctor or a nurse, somebody at the hospital, there's reports, this was in the trial, that that he wanted her to be on suicide watch because he said that she was suicidal and she intentionally took 2 lives. It was said, it was reported. I think they had to throw that out or something.
Yeah.
Hold on, wait a minute.
She was not committing. There's absolutely no base, no evidence, no manifesto, no note, no video, nothing. There's not one iota of evidence.
Let's rewind this and have her repeat what she just said, because the father in the recent interview said that his daughter wasn't suicidal at all. There's no justifiable proof to show and prove that she was suicidal. So we're gonna let this young lady speak again.
The father told officials, I think it was a doctor or a nurse, somebody at the hospital, there's reports, this was in the trial, that he wanted her to be on watch because he said that she was suicidal and she intentionally took 2 lives. It was said, it was reported. I think they had to throw that out or something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why. I was on autopilot through the trial. I still am. I'm very much disconnected with reality. This has been terrible. So there's so many things that, go ahead. Yep.
The idea that she wanted to kill herself and them. What do you know about her that makes you believe that she could go there?
The idea that I believe, and this is just me, is that she snapped. I believe they were fighting. It was a toxic relationship. I don't know if you've been in one, but I have. So I know just how a narcissist can work, okay? And I'm probably speculating a little.
Let's be careful when we're throwing around this word narcissist. I study psychology, and there's a lot of other people out there that study psychology. You know what you know, all right? Nobody's gonna take that away from you. But to diagnose someone, you're not licensed to do it, stop doing that, because it's disingenuous. That's no different than someone putting a label on you that isn't true. Until it shows up in this, it's bull. And even when it's on that, you got to be careful, because seeing is believing, but sometimes it could be misleading. We got to be careful when it comes to it and stop diagnosing other people. We're not a therapist. We're not a psychologist. We don't have no board certification. We don't have no licensing whatsoever. If you was in a toxic relationship, just say you was in a toxic relationship and leave it at that. People can have narcissistic tendencies, but when you say that this person is a narcissist, come on, what we talking about here? If you don't want nobody to take the Shirilla's statement that they made about your brother as their word is bond, and that's truth to power, then why in the hell would you sit there and do that to the person that you was in a relationship with that was toxic? I'm just saying, if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. Let's go.
I feel, and based off of evidence and everything I know, I have a feeling that they started to argue when they left the house that they were at that morning, and that she snapped because that street that you guys see her turning on at 5 a.m. it's completely dead, right? And you can see her braking a few times. Her brake lights are going, and you don't even need to brake to go right. But that street doesn't even take you to Dom's. They were going home to Dom's house. It takes you out of the way. It's not a shortcut. Everyone said it was a shortcut or cut through. Yes, it's a cut through. But no, it wasn't a shortcut. It was actually out of the way to Dom's. It was 5 in the morning. That was their destination. So I really think out of everything that she snapped and just did not care. Like there was things leading up to this. Like she had threatened to do this 2 weeks prior. She was driving. She had she was behind the wheel. She called or he called my stepmom, Dom's mom, and there were friends around that heard her screaming, "I'll kill you." They got her to pull over. And then she tried to save face with text messages afterwards to cover up for herself because she's a narcissist. She all just cares about what people think. But I believe and I feel that she just did not care at that moment she snapped. At the top of that street, she snapped and was just like, it's done, complete rage.
In the last video, I said that what if Dom actually broke up with her that night? And within him breaking up with her that night, his homie, Davion, I don't want to butcher the guy's name, the young man's name, but he knew that Dom was going to end up breaking up with her. And he know of her episodes and stuff like that, Davion. And that's the reason why Davion chose to roll with Dom, just to make sure that it didn't happen. Because in Davion's mind, he thinking that if he's there, she won't do she'll try to save face and not go that route. Looks like things took a turn for the worse, because at that point in time, she didn't even care. She was blinded by rage that night, and he probably broke up with her before they pulled up to the stoplight, or when they pulled up to the stoplight. Him and Davion was probably talking for a quick split second. When she made that right, they wasn't paying attention. By the time they turned around and realized what was going on, she already had made the turn and she started punching it. Too late. It's crazy work. But this is all speculation on my end. You see his sister saying the same thing. It could have been a breakup that happened that night when they were on their way home. I'm not going to keep going. You already know what it is. Y'all tell me what y'all think hearing from the Russo side. You know what I mean? Yeah, y'all already know what to do. Like, share, comment, subscribe. You know what I mean? I'm on my way up to 200. Help me to get there, all right? Join the squad. You already know what it is. I'm here to stay, baby. Until then, I'm out this. Peace.